Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's a trade of the day, Monday night slash or Monday afternoon or night or Tuesday morning for our friend Craig. Zoom call. And we're back over the 70,000 mark with Bitcoin, so that's good. Ethereum back over 3,500. Ethereum actually having a better day than Bitcoin today. And I went through some of the news sources. It's still most of the same, more conjecture about the Ethereum ETF. Is the Bitcoin halving upcoming around the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, depending on who you ask? Is that going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of thing? You know, could be, probably. We'll see. But regardless, we have been pumping up the yesterday or today and yesterday. So let's go to the charts and check it out. Okay, seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right. Actually, I forgot something. I want to get used to doing this. I did have a couple questions via email, so I want to address those before we go to the charts. And yeah, I just wrote those down. I'm not going to screen share them. But this is a pretty good question. It appears there are multiples of the same coin appearing as a USD based on the exchanges it's available on. Is a way to sort those out if you don't have duplicates. Well, that's a pretty good question, but as far as I know, the answer is no. So I do have to share my screen to illustrate this.
I
So
was going to
let's
say, I
say,
don't understand what you're talking about.
yeah, it'll make sense if I illustrate it. So let's go to a chart here, and let's say I was looking at Numer earlier, NMR. I can't write. All right, NMR USD. So I think what he's asking about is there a way to sort out USD and USDT and USDC so you don't have all this jumbled mess here?
Oh, yeah, there is.
Um,
You just click on crypto.
well, you're still going to have a lot of entries. I think he
Well, it
wanted,
takes away all the US. They're all, once you're in the crypto sort, it should be all crypto options.
yeah, we are. I'm wondering all the exchange types. Okay, you can centralize exchanges. We'll narrow it down, and you can also go with decentralized exchanges, and that narrows it down considerably. But I think most of us are looking for centralized exchanges. Those are easier to deal with. So that
The
filters out a little bit.
the other way is if you're on Bybit and you only want to look at Bybit prices or a particular exchange,
Mm-hmm.
you can, and I just can't remember how to do it, but you
Yeah, all
can
sources. Here it
select,
is.
yeah, and you can go in and just select the ones you want.
Yeah, I suspect most people are asking for Coinbase options, and then there's the Coinbase one. So if you leave this on, that can sort them out if you're interested in
Yeah.
Coinbase.
Or
So
and you can have two or three. So you might have Coinbase, Bybit, blah blah blah.
yeah, I wonder like Binance. Well, this one's only letting me do
Only letting you do one.
one at a time. Yeah, but regardless, this would be using these options here can narrow down the scope. I don't mind looking at them at all because I'm on 4 or 5 different ones. But if you only want to use one or two, then you could narrow it down using this function here. And then if you're outside the US, you're going to want to use the tether option because most of the foreign exchanges use tether as as a stable coin pair. So you'll get that with Binance, Bybit, BingX, MEXC, some of those. Okay, so that's that one. And then the other question was, what international VPN do you use? I use ExpressVPN, and I usually connect. I was connecting out of the Philippines, but the Philippines has restricted Binance and may do so with some other foreign exchanges. So I've switched over to Australia, That seems to be working okay. I only have my VPN on when I'm actually on the exchanges. Usually that's going to be my swing trades and occasionally moving funds off of, Bybit or BingX or something like that. So I don't have it on all day like I used to. But yeah, ExpressVPN through Australia is what I use. Does anybody out there have a better, or not necessarily better, but another suggestion on what city to use the VPN in?
Oh, New Zealand, of course.
Auckland, New Zealand. There you go. Someone I know is using Netherlands. Can't remember who that was, but
Might have been me.
might have been Tama. Yep.
Surfshark
Mm.
or Shark
And
Surf. I never remember.
how's that VPN working for
It
you?
works great. It works great and it's fast.
Fast is
And that's
good.
the one that has the dual jumps, has
Oh.
multiple cities,
Mm-hmm.
so that I guess you can't be traced.
All right. So there you go. Hope that helps. Your questions about the VPN. Let's
They also have they look for malware on
okay.
on your system.
So it has some additional security functions, sounds like.
Oh, definitely several.
All right. Well, let's not turn this into an advertisement for Surfshark, but I do
Okay.
appreciate your input on that. And yeah, Express for CJ, Surfshark for Tama, and I've yet to find one that doesn't slow down the computer somewhat. So be advised that's probably going to happen with any VPN you use, because you're putting an additional network in the way of what you're looking at. So that's I suppose inevitable. All right, well, let's move over then to the Bitcoin chart. I'm on the day chart, and I was thinking I may need to move my range up because we've got some history now in the 70s, but I don't know. I just want to leave this Fibonacci extension in here. I'm looking to get up to 85 and maybe sell another piece of my Bitcoin. But at the moment, trending mostly sideways. We were at 72 briefly today. Looked like we might hit 73, at least on Binance, on the Binance chart, but didn't quite make it. But up 3.34%. And as you can see from my list here, nearly everything is up. So a good day for crypto overall. Ethereum, also on the day chart, nice big fat green candle, up almost 7% and pushing 3,700 at the moment. I'd like to see it break above 4,000 and hold that, and then eventually break into the all-time high range. We've not hit the all-time high yet for Ethereum, and we still have not for most of the quality altcoins, Matic, Solana, Link, those kind of coins. Those of you who are hodling or swing trading those, I think there's still some room to move. Okay, any questions on the market overall before we go over to Altcoin Alert and look for some swing trades and day trades? Whoa, I said swing first. Am I changing? Maybe. All right. Let's go to Altcoin Alert, see what we can find. I'm going to reload, refresh, get the most current data. I'm on the altcoin radar setting, and I will look at the altcoin AA score first. And I was looking at Numeric earlier because it had one above 80. So, and this is on Coinbase, so let's go ahead and check that one out. We will look at this as a day trade. NMR USD. And Coinbase comes up first, so I don't really need to sort anything. And this has been hovering in the above the 80 on the RTI, which is, as you know, one of my favorite indicators. We are in the red zone on support and resistance on the 15-minute chart. Take a quick look at the 5. Yeah, no dip action occurring today on this one. The volume's not very good on the 5-minute chart. So keep that in mind. It might be difficult to find fills and sales on a lower volume coin. So what do you do with this? I don't want to get in yet. I would look for a breakdown and a return, either a break below the 20 in a return or a break below the 50 in a return. And here's how you set alerts for those. Right click on the RTI. And it's being a little slow. And there we go. On the 50, crossing up, choose 50 if you want it on all day until you turn it off. Choose once per bar close. This was an AA score purchase. That's what I use for my alert name, the information source. And notifications, notify in the app on my phone, pop up on my computer, play a sound also on my computer. 3 notes of reverb is one of my favorite, and click create. So that's the 50 option. That's this dotted line here in the middle that I've added to this indicator. You could also choose the 80, get a bigger move and try to ride that. And we did have a nice break above the 80 early this morning, around 1 a.m. my time, and it moved up almost 3%, so not bad. I like this move here. This is my favorite. The break below the 20 and break above, that occurs here. And that's 4.5% move. That's a really good day trade. So this is my favorite. And you do this, crossing up on the RTI, and choose 20 once per bar close if you want it all day, and AA score purchase. If I'm doing one on the 20, one on the 50, I usually choose a different sound. I might go with chirpy on that one. And then for the 50, where I'm looking for a trend, if I do a 50 or an 80, I look at this cumulative delta for confirmation to see if that's trending up in the right direction as well. And then I like to do my long somewhere in this range, either in the green zone or probably not too much more than halfway. I'm only looking for about a 1.5% move on my day trades. So, there's plenty of room to get in. If this breaks down and breaks back up again, probably be entering somewhere in the mid zone or in this area here. Okay, any questions on Numer as a day trade? Okay. Let's go back to Altcoin Alert, and we'll do the long-term sentiment sort, this one here. And I like this one for my swing trades, where I'm looking to get 5 to 10% move on a chart at 5 or 10x leverage. And I'm going to match up long-term sentiment with the Elder Impulse Daily. Long-term sentiment is what people are talking about online. Elder Impulse Daily is a technical indicator when they match up. That's something I want to look at more closely. And we've got moves on XYO, which is good. I have a little bag of this. And yeah, I was looking at this one earlier because this is also on Coinbase. So, yeah, on this layout, I'm on the 1 hour chart at the moment. Well, actually, it's on the 8 hour chart. Yeah, so it's had this really nice move, but a sell just printed. Huh. And that's on the super trend, which is the indicator I use for alerts. And then I look at the supply and demand visible range, which I use for resistance and support. And then I look at this other indicator, the Trendio LSMA, which is a moving average. So if they're all in agreement, then I tend to enter the trade. What I would do in this situation is probably wait for a buy on the super trend. So right click on the super trend. My alerts are a little pokey today. Choose super trend buy. I'm just gonna leave this on for once. because once I get in a swing trade, I assume I'm going to be in it for a few days. Alert name, this was long-term sentiment. And then I use a little different sound. I'm going with a handbell on that. I'm going to go ahead and set this alert because I might add to my position in on Coinbase. Not financial advice. Any questions on XYO as a swing trade? Actually, we need to pick an exit. That's why I had the 8-hour on. So let's say this triggers right about where it is now. To go back up to the red zone is all this, 40%. I would probably look, I'm in at 13 and 14, unfortunately. I'd probably just look to get out at 14, have my first position break even, have my 13 position make, small to medium profit, and then the current position would do really well. So what's called ladder buying or dollar cost averaging. And as a quick note, I do have videos on ladder buying and trading view setups, including actual copies of these layouts. Just email me at cryptocj13@gmail.com if you want those, and I'll go ahead and send you an email. I've been sending an email out to people. I talked about it on Friday, who are getting sort of plugged back into crypto, on shorter term trades, and it's got like 6 steps and multiple links to videos and charts that could be useful. So email me if you want me to send you that. Okay, I think that takes care of XYO. And we have time for one more search on Altcoin Alert. So we've looked at the AA score and the long-term sentiment. Let's look at social activity. I'm going to match this up with trading activity. I use this for shorter, more on day trades. And I match up, fire and fire, or fire and thumbs up. I don't match up fire and poop. So let's see. We got Quantum. I was trading this on Friday. That's an older project, kind of coming out of nowhere. CKB, Neo. These are older projects as well. 1 inch. Didix. I trade this a lot. So let's look at Didix. This one does a lot of this, so it's one of my favorites to trade as a day trader. And you will notice certain coins move better than others for certain setups. So, you'll see me going to Didix and Stix and, AVAX and some of those that tend to move a lot. So those are good day trading coins, and I trade them over and over and over again, and you will too. Okay, on the 15-minute, yeah, it's in the red zone as we speak. And it hasn't really broken 50 in a while. There's a few dips down here and then jumped back up again. We haven't had a break below the 20 on this since Friday, but once it did, it really had a nice recovery. So on this one, I would also trade this one both directions. If you're a more experienced trader and you're trading leverage, this alert might be the one you want to choose. We're going to add an alert, and we're going to enter a channel, an 80-20 channel. And this was social activity sort. And I'll probably go with Chirpy on this. And click create. And you're good to go. That will tell you if something breaks above the 80 and dips down, which could be a good short entry, or breaks below the 20 and comes back up, that can be a good long entry. But if you want to do something more trend-based, you can do crossing and not indicating a direction. Choose 50 once per bar close. That'll let you know if it breaks above the 50 for a long, breaks below the 50 for a short. And the rest is the same. And you could have taken, like this one would have triggered on the 50. I mean, if you see multiple almosts here, got this one, and this one, you don't have to set it on 50. You can set it on 56 or 60 or 70 or whatever you want to do. So depends what the candles are doing. Okay. Any questions on Dydex as a day trade? All right. Let's anything on Altcoin Alert before we head over to iCoinPro? Okay. iCoinPro. Don't need that. Home of the 1, 2, 3 dip training. I like their tools RSI Spy and Buddy Coin Crawler. I like to sort by the 1 hour RSI, similar to the RTI. And I'm looking for values below 30, because once those are beaten down below 30, they tend to come back. You don't have too many because, you saw my list. It's practically all green today. So in this situation, I will flip the switch or flip the sort and look for values above 70, because I can either short those or they're due for a dip and they can be good on that 50 alert I showed you moments ago. And I've got something like that going on sand, and don't recall the other one. Storage is another one I like to trade. It has some of that candle action I was talking about. Let's look at that one. So storage is on my list. And let's look at the 5 real quick. We don't want that. That's going sideways on the in the red zone. So we want to see something more like this, more dip action. Squeeze, bubble, 1, 2, 3. Probably enter right about here on a 1, 2, 3 dip. Where was I? Yeah, this one. Dips a little more, but takes off, to the SMA line's 1.3%. It's a pretty good day trade. I see some resistance here at 2.3%. This is probably where I would have gotten out on a manual trade in this scenario, but on my trading software, it just would have kicked me out at 1.5 or 1.3. I think I'm at 1.3, but so that's a good day trade, but we don't have that situation now. But if we want to anticipate it, the best alert's going to be that breakdown below the 20. Yeah, crossing up 20, and the rest. So, but I don't usually set alerts on the 5-minute chart. So sorry, I misled you on that. What I just showed you, I would have done on the 15, where it breaks above, breaks below here, comes back up. That's a really great entry, big pump. So yeah, I like the 20 entry on storage. Even the 50 is pretty good. Even the 80 is pretty good. So any questions on this one? That was an RSI Spy sort. We can look at sand as well. That was the other one I was looking at today. I have alert set on this one. Yeah, you can see I've got I call it a 1, 2, 3 pump dip alert for the one that breaks down and comes back up below the 20. As this happened on Sunday night, and hoping that happens again so I can get in. And I've also got a 50 alert on this one. And these are annoying sometimes because it'll just sometimes bounce around, keep setting off alerts that, goes up, down, up, down, up, down. So today I actually traded, I have one of these on Solana. I just traded it both directions. So So of course one's in the negative and one's positive, but let's see if I'm out of this one yet. Nope. My short's a little bit, about 1% down, and my long, I'm about 0.5% in profit. So, okay. And yeah, 20 and the 50, I think, are the way to go on sand. Any questions on this one? Okay, I'm going kind of fast today. Do one, well, that was the RSI SPY. Let's look at Buddy Coin Crawler. And I'm going to sort this from the average low to the SMA. The low is a 24-hour low. SMA line's the red line you see between my Bollinger Bands. And I'm looking for values 4% or higher. These are telling me what's moving. It doesn't tell me which direction it's moving. It's just coins that are moving today. Got Bella Protocol, VET, or VChain. I haven't looked at VChain in a while. You can use this drop-down menu if you want. It'll open up your most recent layout. But if I do that, it's going to open up a layout I don't want to use. So I'm going to go to the layout I want to use on VET. And okay, on the 15, yeah, they're mostly looking the same. They got this dip on Sunday night and big move and sideways from there. So we got to wait for a dip to get a better entry. And that's going to be your 20 on the RSI, RTI, or your 50, or maybe even the 80 on this one, because the 50 and the 80 are pretty close. It just goes straight up. Yeah. Big move up. So shorts are a little dangerous. I still do shorts, but I'm not staying in them very long, even on swing trades. So be careful with those. But yeah, the 20, 50, and 80 would have worked on all these on VChain. And I've shown you a few alerts on the RTI already, so don't want to bore you. And then look for, on your 15, 80, look for your cumulative delta confirmation on those. Any questions on VChain? Okay, so I was looking on Twitter before. I refuse to call it X. Before, and there was a content creator I like named Kyle Chassis. Friend Connie recommended him, and he was saying, what coin do you think is going to 5x or 10x during this bull run? There were some meme coins listed, but some older projects too, like Link, Solana, something like that. I'm curious if you guys have any coins you want to look at in that regard, or any opinions on it. I wish I would have bought some Link last year. I chose Atom instead, and I did okay on that one, but I think Link would have been better. I did choose Solana, and that worked out pretty well. And then obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum and a couple others. So those are my hodls. I don't usually spend too much time on those, but when I saw that tweet, 45 minutes ago, pretty much, I wanted to talk about it. If you guys want to. If you don't, I'll just wrap it up. So what coin do you guys think is going to pump during this bull run? Don't make me call on people.
Look at DOT. I don't know that it's going to pump, but I haven't looked at it for a while, but it's an old one that's been around and has lots of coins in its ecosystem.
It's a good one. DOT. So on the 1 hour chart, it took a dip. I thought $10 might hold for this, or $9, but it broke way down and almost broke 8. but it's come back pretty well. It's got room to move back to about 970 on a shorter swing. On a longer one, it was 1150 not that long ago, in mid-March, about a month ago. And then on the all-time, this was in the 40s, I remember.
Yeah.
So it's
Me.
a lot of the coins that were hopping back 2-3 years ago have charts like this on the week setting, the 1 week setting. So the room to move is considerable. 340%, 350 up to the red zone. So I think that's possible. This coin is still in use. There's still an ecosystem, and people like it and build on it, and so I think they talked about it on the Crypt Nation group. Can't remember if it was the AA call or the VIP call, but I think Matt was kind of shaken from his position, but still likes the project. So
It was on VIP a couple of months ago, I think.
yeah, it comes up about once every month or two. Somebody asks about it, and they talk about it a little bit. So it could be, Frank. We'll see. I was thinking a link just because I wanted to buy it, and I just kind of ran out of money and time. I wanted to buy it down here, and God, this was like at $5. So it's tripled since then. Up 200%. So that's a regret, but still plenty of room to move. It's another one that's been up in the 40s before. Doesn't have as much room to move as DOT, but it's probably better known and has more functionality. So, and then what about something crazy like Pepe? Binance chart.
Well, in any of those meme coins could do amazing things until the rug pulled.
Yeah, I'm reluctant to get into these, but if your timing's good, you can make a lot of money on these. Just don't God, whatever you do, don't fall in love. Okay, that's about all I have. Any other questions on anything before we wrap it up?
I just read something about the market and just be interested in what other people think about that.
Okay.
And the comment was that the US market is a lot more stable than it used to be, and they put that down to the EFTs. And so we're now getting more volatility in the Asian and in the UK market, and whereas before it used to be much more volatile or much more movement in the American market.
Interesting.
What do people think about that?
Interesting. So is this like market all risk markets or crypto?
I think it was crypto. I can't remember where I saw it. It just, how these things pop up on your phone sometimes, and when you're reading news and reading things. And I thought, for me, it makes sense. It doesn't sound wacky or anything.
No.
But then it's hard to know whether the market is like that because of the ETF or because of the halving. So,
Yeah, or
I think
both.
there's a lot of factors influencing it at the moment. Now, you were talking at the beginning about the high that it's on, and if you remember last week, I showed you the chart I had with a pennant.
Yes.
So it's broken out of that pennant, but I don't think it's broken away. I don't think it's made the leap. I think it's just come out of the range, and it will come back into that range for another week or so. But that's just an opinion.
Yeah, Craig's talking about I drew a pennant on, was it a day
It's on
chart?
Day
Or-
chart was what I drew it on.
Yeah, so something like that. And yeah, we talked about this on Friday.
Yeah, and down that side, lower
So,
than that one, because you're in the peak. You're in the part that's broken out.
oh
Whereas
yeah,
the
you're right.
top of the
So it would
previous
have
one.
been, it would have been like this.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
And it's sort of broken out, but
mhm,
I think it's going to come back into that range for a little bit longer because the apex was right at the halving.
mhm.
Yeah, when you draw it more accurately,
Yeah.
well, and you enlarge it a bit, and you take a bit more care.
Yeah, I was kind of winging it here.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
this is the
you're on the right track. Well, you're on the track that I was on. But yeah, so I just think that's it's not a breakout. I don't think that's a breakout. I just think
Yeah.
it's moved out of the range a little bit, and it was touching on
Good
a
evening.
previous.
Good, good. How are you, dear?
Okay, I gotta
Frank,
mute
oh, no.
somebody.
We're hanging in there. Not me.
Okay, I muted everybody. So Craig, you can unmute if you want to finish your point.
Yeah, I just it's also touching on the high range that it's the lower end of the high range that it's been in
Mm-hmm.
on my chart. So I've redrawn that range that you've got lower. I've redrawn it up higher, and it was just touching on that range again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm not. I think there's some value in structures. A lot of traders swear by them. I think they're somewhat useful, but I as a day trader, but not as much for that as maybe swing trades and hodls. But yeah, I do keep an eye
I
on them.
think it's just I think it's just like longer term projection stuff.
Mhm.
It's good to have an idea of where you think it might be going.
Yeah, I agree. All right, thanks for that. Any comments or questions on what Craig and I were talking about with the Bitcoin structure? Any other news?
I did see somewhere, and I unfortunately forgot exactly where I saw it, but there's a possibility that the halving might come considerably sooner than people were predicting originally, is somewhere earlier, middle May, and maybe as soon as 2 weeks, because I guess it depends on how much mining
Mm-hmm.
is done. It's not time-based,
No.
No,
it's
it's
based,
transaction based. Yeah.
right. And
Yeah.
the
Around the
rate,
23rd of this month is the current projection.
yeah, or even sooner. So it might happen before people originally were thinking and get caught by surprise if they aren't paying attention to that stuff.
Yeah, and it's whether it's the 18th or the 23rd doesn't matter a whole lot. It's just the effect it has on the market overall, and the past halvings, in 20 and 16 were things didn't happen immediately. So a few weeks, a few months later, when things started to take off. So I'm not entirely convinced it's a cause and effect, but it has happened pretty consistently. So with that in mind, I kind of go along with the crowd on that. Maybe it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's more likely that
Yeah.
it'll do what people are expecting it to do because that's the way they'll trade.
Yep. And one could argue all structures and indicators have some element of that in them. So, all right. Well, I think I'll wrap it up here. If you're watching on the recording, I appreciate that. Rather see you live, but check out the opportunities in the pinned comment. They help support the channel. And if you have questions, email them to me at cryptocj13@gmail.com. And I'll try to bring those up on Friday or next Monday. Guys, have a good one. We'll see you next time.
Right.